Hi, I'm Teacher Kate. In today's video, I will be sharing information about the English program for Grade 1 A2 English class. Grade 1 students will have 13 periods of English each week taught by the foreign English teacher and 3 periods of English each week taught by a Taiwanese English teacher. From the beginning of week 4, students from 102, 103, and 104 will be split into levels based on general ability, and we will teach 10 periods of English a week in these leveled classes. There are 4 possible leveled classes: A1, A2, I1, and I2. The leveling system means 3 homeroom classes are split into 4 leveled classes. So the number of students in each class is lower and teachers can spend more time on each student. The leveling system also allows the teacher to target their learning activities for the best benefit of the specific students according to their development in English. And we can also cater more support or extension where it is needed. Grade 1 teachers: A1 Teacher Megan, A2 Teacher Kate, I1 Mr. Joseph, and I2 Mr. Cooper. The curriculum content. At the moment, students are using Reading Street 1.2, and once they finish 1.2, they will move on to 1.3. They are using Readers and Writers Notebook, Volume 1, and once they finish it, they will start using Volume 2. They are using Phonics Level A and Science Level K. They have an English writing book, the Bubble Book, and a communication book. On Wednesday, they have experience classes to enrich their English learning experience. Their weekly schedule. On Monday, they have vocabulary and Reading Street. On Tuesday, they have phonics. On Wednesday, they have science and experience class. On Thursday, they have Reading Street, and usually teachers help students revise for the vocabulary quiz or unit test in the lesson. On Friday, they may have a vocabulary quiz or unit test, and after the test, sometimes they have guided reading. I personally give students activities or games to reinforce what I have covered that week. Parents, please check and sign the communication book each night. Please support your child in keeping positive homework habits and make oral reading a part of your nightly routine. Regarding homework, reading. Ideally, they should read out loud to a family member, maybe a parent or a sibling. Parents can ask questions about the text or pictures. You can find phonics or parts of speech, or you can change the ending of a story or offer opinions. Vocabulary. Each day, students will write the vocabulary words to become familiar with the spelling. Worksheets, and sometimes we give students worksheets, and these worksheets include exercises on reading comprehension, vocabulary, spelling, grammar, editing, phonics, etc. Grading and evaluation. So students have monthly exams, and these exams take up 45% of their performance reports. In these exams, the written part is 60%, listening part 20%, oral and reading is 20%. Grammar takes up 15% of their performance report, and daily performance takes up 40% of their performance report. Their daily performance includes their weekly vocabulary quizzes and the story test that takes place every 2 weeks. We also look at their everyday English, their effort, their homework. We also look at their classroom behavior, how prepared they are, how attentive they are, and whether or not they follow classroom rules. We also look at their participation, their work, and their behavior in their experience and science class. This slide is just to give you an idea as to how we calculate students' grades. So we have the story tests, we have the quizzes, the vocab quizzes, their everyday English, their homework. We also look at their experience class and their science class. This part is for their monthly exams. So the written test, the written exam, listening, oral or reading assessment. Our Taiwanese English teacher will input students' grades for grammar. Here's some information about me. I have a master's degree in TESOL from the University of Exeter in the UK. I moved to China in 2015 to work for Malvern College Chengdu. In 2017, I moved to South Korea to work for North London Collegiate School, Jeju. I began working at Xinmin Elementary School just this year, so I'm a very new teacher here. This is my master's degree, and the name you see on the degree is the name that I use on my passport. Among all the modules that I took, I enjoyed foreign language testing and assessment most. These are my TKT certificates, and the TKT modules covered a lot of information about teaching English to young learners, and I got band for in Module 1, 2, and 3. I also had training to work with subject specialists and students across the curriculum. In my previous school, I worked with subject specialists in their instruction design, and I also gave remedial lessons to struggling students in biology, math, and history. This is my first British international school in Chengdu, China. I taught the Cambridge KET and PET preparation lessons to younger students, as well as IELTS lessons to senior students. I gave demo lessons to prospective parents and students on school open days. From time to time, I visited local schools to give demo lessons as well. This is my previous school in South Korea. I was an EAL teacher. I was also a form tutor. A form tutor is like a homeroom teacher here in Xinmin. I was a boarding tutor, so this was my boarding house, Sarah House, and I carried out my boarding duties there. I was also an admissions test coordinator, so I trained English teachers, I administered the test, and I analyzed the data for the senior management team to make placement decisions. As an EAL teacher, I taught a lot of academic English lessons. I designed schemes of work for the EAL department, and I worked very closely with the English department to design the English curriculum for year 7, 8, and 9 students. I taught the Cambridge IGCSE English as a second language to year 10 and 11 students, as well as English lessons to year 7, 8, and 9 students. I was an IB extended essay supervisor, so I worked with IB students on their language acquisition essays. I am familiar with the Cambridge English assessments, and I am also a Cambridge PET speaking examiner. My work in South Korea was very busy, very full on, but I still managed to find some time to pursue my hobbies. I really enjoy running, and I was a cross-country coach in my previous school. I trained with students and my colleagues a lot. I am a pretty competitive runner, and I did lots of long runs on the island. The summer on the island is beautiful. It's very warm and it's sunny most of the time. But the winter is brutal. It's very cold, very windy, and it gets dark early. Sometimes we get lots of snow. My teaching philosophy. I set high standards and expectations by promoting a growth mindset and building confidence among my students. I expect my students to try their best and strive for improvement every day. One of the strategies that I employ is the I do, we do, you do method. So I model a skill and I slowly release responsibility to students until they can perform a skill or a task on their own. I encourage cooperative play and learning in my classroom so my students can learn with and from one another. By playing and working together, students develop important communication and group work skills. I do my best to get to know my students and build rapport with them so I can design my lessons in a way that meets their needs and challenges them to stay motivated and focused. Regarding parent-teacher communication, you can use the communication book. You can use my school email address to contact me. We do have a line group and I do have a class blog. Well, this is the end of the video. I'm really hoping to see all of you in person soon. In the meantime, do get in touch if you have any questions. Thank you very much and bye for now.